Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our ERCI webinar on intelligent inspection systems for railway infrastructure. My name is Rus Hübner, working for Berlin Partner for Business and Technology. We are one of the 18 member clusters of ERCI. First, we every time start with a short introduction of ERCI. That is the leading meta cluster for the railway sector in Europe. We are together 18 innovation-driven and rail-related cluster organizations, and we are operating in 70 European countries. Our members are mainly small, medium-sized enterprises, but we have also contacts to larger enterprises, to OEMs, to tier one suppliers, and so on, and for sure also to the research community in Europe. So you can see from the picture where we are present, and now we have two presentations from members of two different clusters as normal. We are from today from Aarhus in Turkey. The first presentation, the second presentation will come from a member of DTEC Fair located in Tuscany in Italy. So, what is about the services of ERCI? We are mainly supporting small, medium-sized enterprises in discovering new market opportunities, in partner matchmaking for research and development activities, and on enhancing visibility on international level. And we are discussing with them innovation topics due to our ERCI task forces. For instance, about cybersecurity, multimodal logistics, green and sustainable mobility, and some more topics. We are providing networking opportunities. For instance, at these webinars, you should use this webinar as well to find new contacts and workshops. We have networking events inside Europe, but also outside Europe. We have a very successful networking event and connected with a business trip and a fair in Canada last week at the Trax Rail Days. And to enhance the visibility of our companies, for sure, we have since years or 4 years the annual ERCI Innovation Awards that will take place also this year during the InnoTrans. I will come later on to this topic. One activity of our task force on green and sustainable mobility is a quarterly survey among the European railway industry on the topic of sustainability. These are short questionnaires with 3 to 5 questions. It takes you only 3 minutes to answer that, and the broader the volume of answers is, the better we can estimate what are the main points in case of sustainability for the European railway industry. So please do not hesitate to contribute to the survey. You will find the link in the chat. You will find also our contact data in the chat, our web address, our LinkedIn account, and our email address. And that leads me to the first presentation. And the first presentation, as already mentioned, comes from Turkey. This is the agenda. We will have 2 inspiring presentations, which are covering the webinar topic. We will have plenty of time for your questions, and we will present some updates, ongoing projects, funding opportunities, and next webinars and events. Now coming to the first presentation, that is from RailSize, the presentation on rail track geometry and measurement device presented by Nurullah Gülkün. And Nurullah is a metallurgy and materials engineer. He works as a master's degree researcher at Sagem, especially on next generation energy storage technologies. Nurullah, the floor is yours. You have to unmute yourself. Nurullah, you are muted.
You hear me right now?
Yes, better.
Okay. My name is Nurullah Kökgün. I'm a master's student engineering and a part-time worker in Turkey right now. And today I will share our company, our startup's presentation. Now I will start fastly. You can see my presentation?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank you first in advance for taking the time and attend this presentation. About our company, today, actually, I'd like to introduce our company, our startup, the RailSize. What are we? We are a kind of technology real startup dedicated to shaping the future of railways by developing intelligent inspection technologies and special robotic systems. And our first goal as a company, as a startup, is to lead the digital transformations of this sector, of this railway sector, and making this infrastructure more safer, smarter, and entirely data driven. Before we discuss these problems, actually discuss our solution, it's important to understand what exactly we are measuring. You can see in a slide, as you can see at the slide, maintaining a safe railway requires something like a gauge, alignment, con, twist, and the keeping a close eye on this metrics is absolutely critical to preventing problems like derailments and ensure about the passenger comfort and about life cycle infrastructure and extending the situation, extend the overall lifespan of the infrastructure. So how is this currently being done? Actually, in this system, and unfortunately, still relies like heavily on actually a manual labor. Like workers use handheld tools or the push trolleys to physically measuring these tracks. And this traditional approach is, highly actually problematic, and it is really time consumer for requires with a huge human workforce, and it can be problem about to prone to operate error. An important one, the most important thing, like about the safety risk while out of the active working active tracks. Absolutely, you can ask that. Is there any, machines for this? Is there any systems for this? Yes, we have. We have, but industries have problem about it, like two extreme, two different problem. The one side is we have the specialized measurement train, like on the left on the slide, but daily, accurate, highly accurate, and extremely expensive, and with this huge sizes, huge systems, not flexible, inflexible systems. On the other side, we have the manual trolleys, like right on the slide, and we just discuss about it, but it's like more cheaper than the first system, but slow and limited. Because of these problems, because of this things, we have actually an urgent and innovative solution, more cost-effective solution right now. So, to put the scale, the problem into perspective, today it's problem about inspectors too, because inspectors are forced to walk up like 20 kilometers to just performing a manual checks, and this is so inefficient system. Because of this inefficient system, this is measurements are infrequent. The facts are, often not detected in time. And with this, how can I say, like existing limitation, the limitations create a very clear and significant gap in this sector, in this railway inspection market. So I share some news from Türkiye, and you understand it's not just an operational issue, it's the human issue, it's the human one. And with this NEOS, you can see on the slide, this NEOS actually highlight the grueling reality for the line guards in Türkiye and who work like 15 to 25 kilometers a week with different weather conditions like the freezing cold, so amazing like the maybe this so high heats something. And when it's talk about before, the manual systems can fail, or tracks are the monitor continuously, and we're turning into like the fatal accidents like in Çorlu, Tekirdağ in Turkey, like a train derailment, and it was really a problem. So this thing like these problems, it's not this solution actually before the solutions, it's not no longer sustainable, and we have to make a solution. So we work on it and we make a system like this, and that brings our solution. Now I will start my video too. You can see our system as a product, and to solve these critical issues like talked before, we make them we developed an automated the multi-sensor robotic device by putting this high speed with important one like data is important, continuous data collection robot directly onto the tracks, and we enable this defect detection. Furthermore, everything is connected to cloud of real-time alerts, and it must make more reliable and cost-effective for our solution, our product. Working on this solution, and today by implementing this solution, the benefits are immediate and transformative because we have the more autonomous system, and this one autonomously deploys rapidly. We cause minimal disruptions about to daily traffic, while drastically reducing the need for the humans to be on dangerous tracks. And over time, day by day, like over time, early defect detection allows for the predictive maintenance and we can say good, like lowering life cycle cost and extending the life of the railway assets. I think you can watch again, like you can see more clear our system, our product. And absolutely, we can let's take closer look our product, our technology itself. You can see different different models here. Our inspection robot is actually have different models and modular and pack system, and it utilize like laser scanners you can see in the photo, and the high resolution cameras, environmental monitors to precisely the capture all those essential the parameter like discussed earlier, actually first of the slide, like this gosh, con or twist. you know, and it can even monitor the rail temperature and utilize customized models for the special missions. In fact, we can say about our customers, we can add all models. Yes, you can see here all models we can add our product, but depending on the customer's opinion, customer's requirements, we can just certain some features we can only like certain the features can be included like this. Gosh, just I want the customers can say like I want just temperature, gauge, and air condition, and we can use a great system for the customers' requirements. And absolutely talking about we talk about a little bit the software. You know, the great hardware needs to great software. So to make this system, you know, accessible as possible, we would develop the smart RailSize mobile application too. And this acts as actually the command center in your pocket, and operators can, you know, easily like map routes, navigate, receive automatic notification, and the review instant data and camera captures with all through, you know, a highly secure and user-friendly interface we are, you know, make for our customers, make for you. And we are actually, we can so clear, we are proud to say that the industry is already taking notice about our, you know, success. And as you can see here, our technology is officially patented and validated, and we won a prominent startup innovation awards, and we successfully demonstrated our capabilities. And like you see, and here in a photo and slide, we, you know, on national television, we share our product and our services like national television TRT in Turkey, the moment and public interest, you know, behind our mission and growing rapidly day by day. And we're so proud of that. We're so happy about it. So let's look about the more, you know, customers and potential customers. Looking at the, you know, business model, business potential, the market for this is genuinely global. You can see in the map, and especially in Europe, there was a really huge market and opportunities. And our target customers actually include anyone responsible for a railway infrastructure. And absolutely, we have two different sectors, the public one and private one. And this breaks down to about like 70% in the public sector, such as like state-owned railways, metros or tramways, with the 30% the private sector. Includes like the railway construction companies, engineering consultants, or more growing like industrial railway operators all over the world. And you can talk about it. How do you monetize this? So what is your business model? We talk about a little bit of business model too. And, you know, our business model is robust and diversified across like four main streams. We generate income through direct like product sales of our robots, alongside recurring revenue from the software licensing for our platform. And additionally, for the clients actually who don't want to buy hardware, yeah, it's impossible. We offer them to a measurement as a service supplemented by expert training and consulting. And this ensures we can serve every type of client in the market. And this is our team. We're working like on it like 15 plus years with 4 core team members. Our wonderful team actually has confidence in the product we've developed, and we believe we'll do great things in this industry if we make good opportunities, if we have good opportunities. And, you know, I can say like this. Thank you for listening. The last time I want to talk about some situation. Actually, our key distinction is that we are building the system in Turkey, and creating products, and services that are more cost effective and more accessible for just not Turkey, with neighboring countries. Because you see in a map, in Turkey is not very the popular railway system like Europe. Europe is better in a situation with different infrastructure in neighboring countries. And we believe our solution is great for the sector. And like that, thank you for listening me. Then that's it.
Yeah, thank you, Nurullah. And the questions from the chat are coming in immediately. We are starting with a short Q&A session, but that is not the right screen I wanted to show you. Sorry for that. I will try again. Maybe I take this one. And that comes to our questions. The first question is, how does your system ensure measurement accuracy and reliability under different track and environmental conditions?
About our system, right?
Hmm?
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, we talk about our robots, and this our robot is completely that takes the human error out of equation. So with this situation, it by automatically gathering the super accurate data in any weather, because we don't talk about the different problems about human. So this one, like to taking human error out of equation, giving us a like rock solid baseline for the predicting like exactly when maintenance is needed. So we can call this one, this question, a robot is completely takes human error out of equation, then it makes better solution and better position for the different environmental conditions.
Yeah, and that was maybe also already the answer to the second question. The second question came from the chat. Can the robot operate in different weather conditions like rainy days successfully?
Okay, this in chat, right? I will check it.
No. I read the question. You can also only see the slide I share with all the questions.
The second one, right?
Yeah. Can the robot operate in different weather conditions like rainy days successfully?
Actually, we work on it and we make our system like more it's so the prototype like, and we using some services on it. We work with this different condition in different region in Turkey like Sivas, and we make better solution like the rainy weather, like more cold weather, like more sunny weather, and it was make successful solution, and our product can have the great opportunity. Yeah, we tried for our system, then make successful solution, successful results on it.
Yeah. All right. The next question is, what are the main advantages of your solution compared to traditional track inspection methods in terms of efficiency and operational cost?
I think first of all, we make the cost-effective system, but I think the best one and the best advantages, the most advantage method and side for us is we make more autonomous system with good software, and you can feel more relaxed in the solution because we make them just not a simple machine, simple product. We make more improve, more, actually not high tech, but we can more technological device with for this sector. And I can say like autonomous usage, autonomous relations with our product, it can make most advantages with other different product or systems.
Yeah. Next question. Can the solution be adapted for different track gauges?
We didn't work on it little before, but like say in Sivas, when different condition works, we tried and have different results and data from here, but we just try to work on it with, we make the customer service with the situation and giving feedback, but we first like like we are so new in here. We just tried just one or two.
Yeah, I'm not sure that if it was the complete answer of the question. The different track gauges are existing in Europe. Most of in Europe you have the normal gauge of 1435 millimeters, but there are some countries existing with different track gauge, like in Spain, like in Portugal, like in Finland. Uh, uh,
Oh,
yeah,
different countries, the gauges
yeah,
system for different countries is
yeah,
usable, like you
yeah,
asking.
yeah,
Yeah, it's usable for different countries and different, systems.
yeah.
It's usable.
All right. Next question. Can you please share with us that how would you see the future of your product in competition with non-intrusive systems like UAV or satellites, etc.? UAV is an unmanned autonomous vehicle
Hmm.
or drone or so. Yeah.
Actually, there is a huge high technological devices like UAV and satellites, but
Yeah.
our system is more basic for them, but with like improvable, like we can improve day by day our product, and it's really important for our situation. And I can see for future our product can be great like as UAV and satellites because we make our product like you can improve this product, you can add something, you can take something and you can make this product like in puzzles, right? So I think in the future we will be better results in this technology with good situation. Maybe not very best like satellites, we don't be like UAV and satellites, but we turning into great as them with our solutions.
Yeah. You see that we have plenty of time and the questions are coming in. The next question is, what is the operating duration of the product? Does it require any form of charging?
Operating duration of the product actually. Actually, we didn't have a kind of the charging system right now, but we think about it because I'm searching and working, battery and this kind of technology. And with the RailSize, maybe we can make for future, but right now, in a charging system, we don't have. But for the charging process, uh, actually, the duration about I'm not telling like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I mm, I forgot about the duration actually. I will
Yeah.
share about it, but no, I forgot how much
May
is it?
Yeah,
How many?
maybe this answer could given afterwards, and maybe we will put your contact data also in the follow-up email, or
Okay,
the
okay, I will send you because in my
participant is also able to put his contact data into the chat so that you can react directly as you have the correct answer. I have two remaining questions that are the questions from myself. Are the measurements concentrated only on rail, but also on the other components of the track, like the sleepers, like the ballast, etc.?
actually just concentrated on the rail. We just
Mm-hmm.
work on the so basic system, like talk about the Gash, Kant, or railway. We
Mm-hmm.
work in the basic one, but yeah, just concentrated on rail and the railman position about.
Yeah.
with basic one, but like I say, we make a product, it's edible, then you can add something with different components
Yeah,
and you can make product more usable. But
yeah.
right now, we just concentrated on just Rails.
For sure, it's not only on the position of the rail, longitudinal or horizontal, but also on the detection of defects of rail. If there is some defect in the rail itself, as I understand, right? Yeah,
Yes, with
yeah,
defects.
yeah. I have a second question. What is the inspection speed? That means how many meters or kilometers of track you could expect per hours or per minute or
Like, let me example for 1 hour, right?
yeah, for instance, yeah, maybe kilometers per hour. What is the speed of the inspection system?
Like 25,
25. All
25,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
No, by track an hour, like 2.5 and hours, like 8, 10 to 9. No, it's not 25, it's like 15.
15. All
Yes.
right. So I see
It's
no
gonna
other.
be,
Yeah.
it's gonna be in first time it's 15. Maybe it's not the great, but like I say, we will try on it and we better in the situation.
All right. So thank you so far for your presentation and for answering the questions. I see no questions so far in the chat, but for sure you are still able to raise your questions regarding the first presentation. Please indicate that it's a question from the first presentation. But I see the last question I see right now in the chat. There is a big question. And I will copy it into the slide. Oh, there are different questions. Could this device be used for equipment marking prior to installation in newly constructed railway projects?
Have us like conduct any studies or application in this area?
Hmm. Then we have, for example, could it be used prior to the installation of trackside equipment to determine the exact installation locations via GPS and accurately mark them on site, e.g. point machines, signal lights, balises? Have you conducted any studies or applications in this area?
Conducting relations with just not universities or working areas in general, right? With maybe different companies or startups.
Mhm. All right.
Uh,
So,
how can I say like with the GNS system or actually we talk about this Bharat Bhai, about the situation with improve with maybe in my university relating this one having have different relations with. But you know, autonomous the railway inspection robot can be used out in marketing is in industrial maybe or literature. But with actually with our advancement driving or mapping algorithms, we
mhm,
just not actually not study before in the situation. We make our
mhm,
system so basic and clear, but we talk about in the situation and we want to present you guys for the general in our product. Then we can say we can make better in this situation because we work with our university together with
mhm,
making this in effective, maybe in
yeah,
battery system, maybe in adding something or using more good systems like using GPS or the tracking
mhm,
systems integrated.
yeah,
So we work on it
yeah.
actually.
So that means your first use case was to inspect already existing tracks if they have to maintain or not, and so on. And the second that could be to check new tracks as they are built. And then in order to determine if the position of the rails are right before installing additional components like signals and so on and so on.
Actually, we make our system so flexible, like I said before, and this
Mhm.
means working with the university and colleges,
Yeah,
like we
yeah,
have good relations on it, and
yeah,
we can make our product, like you say, anything with day by day. So this is
yeah,
important situation. This
yeah.
one, the first of all, we talk about you guys to presenting about the solving problem about railway situation. We solve it,
Mhm.
and we can make product so flexible than
Mhm.
adding something day by day. So I say it like this.
So, to summarize, a flexible solution, and thank you for your interesting insights into your technology. That leads me now to the second presentation, and I have Irina from DTech Fair here in order to introduce the second speaker.
Hello, everybody. I hope you hear me. My name is Irina Vescu. I am from DTech Fair. This is the Italian railway cluster from Tuscany. And today I would like to present our company is one of our members. This is MERMEC, and especially Vincenzi here that will be our speaker, and he has in fact a strong background in automation engineering with particular expertise in machine vision systems. He joined the railway sector in 2015 at MERMEC, where he initially led the development of innovative solutions for rolling stock inspection. And later he expanded his focus to the broader diagnostics market as a product line manager, and currently contributes to the company's growth as commercial program manager, promoting its business development initiatives. Jacopo is also a member of the ERJU Harmonized European Railway Diagnostics Group. So, Jacopo, the floor is yours, and you can start your presentation.
Thank you, Irina. Thank you for your presentation. I'm
welcome.
going to share my screen. Just a second. Here we go.
Not yet.
Please let me know if you see the screen.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. So, hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you to this webinar. As said, I'm Jacopo Vincenzi, Commercial Program Manager at MERMEC. So I will guide you through my presentation, which is first about MERMEC. So because MERMEC is a company active in the railway industries since 1980. Okay. And later, along the years, has accumulated a very large experience in diagnostics of any kind, addressing diverse railways requirements in terms of collecting data, managing different kind of data, and providing solution to the whole railway ecosystems. From digital area surveys for asset inventory, to signaling, interlocking, to infrastructure monitoring trains and systems in order to collect information on the track condition, up to wayside monitoring systems to inspect and track the condition of the rolling stock. Addressing all these diverse requirements led to the development of application of different technologies, okay, and the introduction of multi-purpose diagnostic systems. What will be my presentation brief today? I'm going to talk about synergies that can be created in railway diagnostics to get more insight, especially when you put together on the same platform, okay, two different sources of data, which is the infrastructure condition monitoring data and rolling stock conditioning monitoring data, which circulate on the track. Together in a single platform, in a single common data lake, where MERMEC has developed a specific platform in order to allow infrastructure managers and railway undertakings to exploit this data in an efficient way, enabling for predictive maintenance and improve the performance of both the track and the rolling stock. So I will walk you through these synergies today, sharing some real project cases where MERMEC is already active and with operating systems providing information to customer. And finally, I will also talk about some limitations of this solution and some barriers that we are facing in Europe, especially. And I will provide you some insight on 2 European projects that MERMEC is part of, which are aiming to, let's say, reduce these barriers and allow everyone to get data and improve the whole railway ecosystem. So, to face the challenge of managing data from different source and 2 distinct fields and create a space for correlation, we have created the Rail Studio platform, which is a web platform, which consists of 2 pillars. A pillar dedicated to infrastructure monitoring, the track one on the left, and another pillar dedicated to fleet monitoring on the right. The target is to have an holistic view of the railway system and how these 2 things, track and trains, do interact one each other. So on the track, we have all the virtualization of the track inspection to allow less boots on the track, and with all the decision support systems for planning, maintenance, and renewal activities. And under the fleet side, we have the virtualization of the rolling stock inspection with RailSize systems, and Railway Studio in this part can also track the evolution of the asset and the rolling stock over time, enabling for predictive indicators. So in Railway Studio, we have bridged these 2 distinct worlds, track and rolling stock, and are actually allowing for simulating the impact between the trains and infrastructure and vice versa. You can imagine that also this requirement and the data diversity, became even more evident and profound when we had to address the needs of different stakeholders. So Rail Studio has been designed specifically in order to meet the requirement of different people inside the organizations, both in terms of infrastructure manager for track inspectors or maintenance workers, up to the planning engineers of both the track and the rolling stock. So it's very, very configurable and efficient this side. So let's start with some real cases. The Finnish network is actually a good case to start with, because the network is the 2nd largest in the Nordic region and is almost isolated from the European region due to geographical limitation and historical reasons. And also the broad track gauge is indeed compatible only with the Russian network, and even if it is currently useless due to the closure of the border and the frozen relationship with Russia. Yet the Finnish case is posing very big challenges, because we have thousands of tracks to maintain in a harsh and critical environment, subjected to strong changes and degradation between winter to summer, and increasing demands of freight and passenger services over the year. So in Finland, MERMEC has delivered and is currently operating 2 solutions, synergic one to the other. The first one is a high-tech vehicle for track measuring and inspection, the MERI, owned and operated by MERMEC. And the second one is a network of pantograph inspection systems installed at 4 locations across the Finnish network at strategic location to get information on the pantograph condition every day. So let's delve into these 2 solutions. Starting first from the MERI vehicle. This beautiful red vehicle, which is endlessly traveling the Finnish infrastructure 10 months a year, with just a stop in between December and January for allowing maintenance of the vehicle itself and planning the next campaign of the next year. So the data collected by this vehicle is processed and is crucial for the maintenance of the whole Finnish network performed by the Finnish Transport Infrastructure Agency, FTIA. Let's give a few numbers on this vehicle. The MERMEC is designed to run both on electrified lines as well as on diesel power to ensure coverage of also remote areas. And it is capable of running up to 160 km an hour with all the systems active. And in a couple of slides, we will also see which kind of systems are installed on the MERMEC. The vehicle, as said, is operated and owned by MERMEC with a contract of 15 years and with strong interaction with the Finnish agency in terms of planning, reviewing the critical areas of the track and discussion about the maintenance needs. We have 13 diagnostic systems mounted on the MERMEC, both for track inspection and also overhead line inspection. And we are inspecting almost 25,000 kilometers of track every year. So as we said, 13 measuring and inspection systems are installed. A first package of system is dedicated to the track. So with track geometry, laser scan system, and also turnout geometry, rail profile and wears, rail corrugation, and running dynamics with accelerometers in order to assess the proper condition of the track. Okay, it's important to underline that these kind of systems are operated at service speed when the train is running on the network. This is to avoid any disruption of the inspection of the MERMEC with the passenger service, with the standard traffic circulation on the network. A second package of system is then dedicated to track to the rolling contact fatigue, to the condition of the rail, and also the track clearance around in terms of tunnels, bridges, also internal rail flows with special ultrasound technologies. And a third package of system is dedicated to the overhead line. So with the geometry aware of the contact line of the catenary, the OEHL inspection, and the pantograph interaction. So any vibrations with the pantograph. The data collector is also correlated with the condition of the pantograph running on circulating on the network because of the second solution that MERMEC has provided to the Finnish network, and that we will see very, very soon. Some feedback regarding the teamwork on board the vehicle. So we have online activities to be performed when the train is running to validate the data, to observe the data together with the Finnish operators. And then we have offline activities in order to inspect and post-analyze with automatic tools, with specific data fusion and correlation tools and data analytics, and in order to plan the next maintenance and the next more crucial activities to be performed on the track. This is in order to enable as much exploitation of the track as possible, okay, and to react as soon as possible to potential deviation of the track gauge or the track condition in order to avoid disruption, okay. This is the enabler. Then it comes the second solution, which is synergic to the first one, which is the pantograph monitoring network across the Finnish territory, in order to provide quantitative assessment on the condition of the pantographs running in the main line and complementing the data with the condition of the OHL collected with the MERMEC vehicle we have seen before. So understanding the pantograph's condition, the deterioration factors, early detecting critical track section for pantographs and vice versa, so critical pantographs for track sections, and assessing the proper interaction between the two. A few numbers also here. So we have 4 locations strategically selected on the network to allow as much coverage as possible on the trains running. 12 systems in total, and 250 kilometers an hour maximum speed for inspection. The system is designed to assess the condition of the horns of the pantographs, so the whole morphology of the headset, also to measure the strip, the carbon strip wear and tear, assess the alignment also and deformation, and measuring the uplift of the pantograph. So the force that the pantograph is exerting on the overhead line. And this is, we're going to see, is quite a crucial parameter in order to assess the proper interaction with the overhead line. Yeah, the synergy here between infrastructure and rolling stock monitoring is getting first in terms of minimizing the derailment risk by observing regularly, frequently, the pantograph condition of the train running on the network. The agency, the Finnish agency, is able to minimize and to detect as soon as possible any deteriorated or damaged pantograph, which might produce impairing condition with the overhead line. So the derailment risk is significantly mitigated, and you have also to imagine how much is costing in terms of disruption, unavailability of the track, a specific incident of derailment. So when the pantograph is getting down the wire, so it's very, very critical. And here we want to avoid this as much as possible. At the same time, the carbon strip deterioration of the pantograph is kept under strict observation, also because Finland is a country when, due to the rigid winter climate, arching condition on the pantograph due to the icing of the overhead line is quite common in the winter time. So, and high arching is deteriorating pantograph in very, very rapidly. So it's really a crucial need to understand as much as possible and to assess the condition of the pantograph to avoid the arching to let's say deteriorate more and more and more the condition of the pantographs. And last but not least, the uplift of the OHL is monitored in terms of displacement of the contact wire when the pantographs are running, in order to understand that the pantograph is fit for service. So it is exerting the proper force to the overhead line, not too much, not too less, to create arching condition, for instance, but the proper one, and this is crucial. So in Finland, thanks to this solution by MERMEC, the Finnish Transportation Agency was able to correlate in a very synergic ways the data of the rolling stock and the track inspection in order to provide more insight and to ensure a higher reliability of the specific railway network and ecosystem. Now we're going to switch to another case from France with Eurotunnel. Okay, I know that many of you for sure already knows the strategic infrastructure of the Channel Tunnel under the sea between France and England, and how critical it is in terms of availability to transport freight, goods, anything from France to the continent, to the European continent, to the UK. Here in Eurotunnel, let's provide some numbers. The challenges is that to ensure a 24/7 operation every day of this network is quite challenging, both in terms of track condition, so that the track condition must be assessed regularly in order to avoid any delays or disruption to the train circulation, but also in terms of evaluation of the rolling stock, in order to make sure that the rolling stock is available as much as possible in order to allow for service and for operation. So it's a critical infrastructure that has to be very, very efficient and sustainable, okay, also in terms of track maintenance. And here, MERMEC has delivered a specific diagnostic solution in terms of two wayside detectors for wheel monitoring installed on the French border before the train enters the tunnel. Let's deepen this solution a little bit. So here we have two systems, okay, covering the track. Here you see a nice video of one train passing by. Here we are talking of wheel profile monitoring, so a specific solution installed on the track to measure automatically the wear and tear of the wheels of the rolling stock passing by. So the system has been installed in the main line, so at the speed of maximum 120 kilometers an hour. Almost 35,000 wheels are inspected every day by the systems, monitoring almost, not almost, but 12 parameters of the wheels and the wheel set as well. In terms of wheel profile, diameters, gauge, wheel set gauge, and equivalent conicity, which is the crucial parameter in terms of interaction with the truck. Okay. Such a diagnostic solution is quite challenging for many reasons beyond the simple numbers, because behind the need of accurate and almost real-time data on the wheel, there are some key requirements. We need to ensure that the wheel-rail interaction is the proper one for such a high availability and critical infrastructure. We need also to ensure that the rolling stock condition is not creating extra stress or extra damage to the trucks in the tunnel, because this would impact on the truck maintenance and then reducing the availability of the truck. It has to be as much available as possible, as we said. And we need also to predict the wheel life expectancy for every single parameter in order to optimize the maintenance of the rolling stock and the availability of the rolling stock itself by extending as much as possible the life cycle of the wheel sets. Yeah, this next clip is about the potential of tracking the wheel evolution over time. Here you see the wearing of a single wheel over almost 1 year span. Okay, as acquired, you can also reload it so that you can appreciate again. Frequent data is also the key to detect unexpected condition at an early stage. For instance, accelerated wear rate or wheel out-of-runness. And moreover, the correlation of the wheel data with the current rate profile acquired with truck measurement campaigns yields a more realistic calculation of the equivalent conicity parameter of the wheel set, which is a precious indicator for the vehicle stability, as we see on the right panels. Okay. In this way, Eurotunnel makes sure that the wheel-rail interaction is delivering the optimal performance in the network. And this is by correlating the wheel profile, the wheel geometry with the truck geometry and calculating the equivalent conicity, which is nothing but the wheel-rail interaction most important parameters. Here you see another screenshot of our RailStudio Fleet platform for accessing the equivalent conicity, where Eurotunnel can also compute the equivalent conicity according to the latest rate profile available, thanks to the truck measuring campaign on the tunnel, in the tunnel. So we can load different profiles, so we can evaluate and assess the equivalent conicity for every single train of the fleet in order to highlight the most critical one, or the track condition, which is the most critical one in terms of interaction. And this is very, very precious to allow and to provide a holistic overview of the wheel-rail interaction and the condition of the railway and the performance of the railway network. So, approaching the end of my presentation, I would like just to introduce the RailStudio layers, which are 3 layers, actually. One big data layer, an analysis layer, and a presentation layer, which are targeting different needs, okay, of different stakeholders, as we introduced at the beginning. So the first layer is to bridge digital infrastructure and trains, okay, and we also infrastructure with operation. The analysis layer is for modeling, simulation, creating impact feature analysis and forecasting. And the latest layer is instead dedicated for asset inventory, root cause analysis, and decision making and reporting. So just to provide you also some feedback regarding the seamless integration of all diagnostic data. On the left side, we have track geometry and rate profile with different images, and this is correlated to wheel-set diagnostic data, also as we have seen, also in terms of equivalent conicity and rail interaction. On the other side, we have Scala parameters for OHL and localization of any overhead line defects, which are correlated to the pantograph diagnostic data condition in RailStudio. So a seamless integration of these two distinct words, track and fleet, in a common space. Well, it looks fantastic so far, but potentially a bit too good to be true, isn't it? Yet we have some limitations and bottlenecks and barriers and existing issues that should be overcome. So the first issue is the data access barriers, because typically the data owners of our infrastructure managers, which seldomly are also the vehicle keepers and railway undertakings. So how to access data that someone else collected, and how to get data of my own asset. If, for instance, I'm in the clothes of a railway undertakings. One potential solution to that is the Rail Data Space project that I'm going to share a few details, and where also many companies in Europe are active. MERMEC is part of this exciting project for enabling and creating a federated data space where the data is sovereign, okay, and data can be shared with specific agreement between parties in order to allow everyone to make use of the data and improve its specific business. Then we have a second limitation or issues, let's say, which is the data format Babelis. So how to manage potential multiple sensors from different vendors in the same network, and how to manage such a plethora of data that speaks different language, format, and language. Another solution is the Harmonized European Railway Diagnostics, which is a working group, is a project about, included in Europe's rail, about harmonizing and allowing every diagnostic solution to speak in Europe the same language, the same format. So coming to the first one, the European Rail Data Space, here the challenge is to create a new data ecosystem that enables company to exchange securely crucial data along the complete rail value. This is a way to ensure that any stakeholders is receiving the information they need to improve their processes in terms of safety, control, and maintenance. This project is currently in a pilot phase within the ERJU research program. A few words also on the HERD, okay, so the European Harmonized Railway Diagnostics. So at the present times, many different data sources are provided also with country-wide, nationwide project and proprietary interfaces, and this is posing a big limitation to, let's say, interpreting data and using data that another vendors is potentially providing. So the future we've heard is to create a standardized, harmonized diagnostic interface in order to ensure comparability and of different source of data. For instance, rolling stock data collected in Austria with rolling stock with the same data collected in Italy or in France, in order to allow everyone, every infrastructure managers in Europe, of every railway undertaking in Europe, to use that data seamlessly, speaking the same language and standardized. So stay tuned on this project because it's very exciting. MERMEC is part of it and is contributing in order to meet the challenges. So for concluding my presentation, a key aspects I want to deliver to you of this journey together. So the expandability, the capability to ingest and manage different data is a key for infrastructure manager and railway undertakings to provide more value and comprehension respect to standalone solutions. The data fusion and correlation is also key to really understand specific wear and tear phenomena affecting the track or the rolling stock. And then a EU-wide approach and solutions respect to nationwide, country-wide solutions are really unlocking the potential of diagnostic data for the whole railway ecosystems. So it's very important to support these initiatives that will very soon allow a more flexible, efficient, and safe railway environment in Europe. Thanks for your attention, and I welcome all of your questions.
Thank you very much, Jacopo. It was very interesting presentations with so many details and use cases. It was really interesting to know also from you about the last two projects that are, let's say, help to understand better and share the data that are gathered during all this let's say, initiatives. Thank you very much for that. So we have a few questions from the public. I will start with the first one. How to overcome the national barriers to railway diagnostics data in Europe?
Yeah, this is exactly the topic of HERD, of the European Harmonized Railway Diagnostics. So the aim here is to create an interface that can be used by both infrastructure managers and railway undertakings in order to access data, okay, speaking the same language with the same format. Let's say that a wheel parameter is comparable between one vendor and another vendor placing a system in maybe Austria border or Italian border. Okay, that's the working group, and that's the project in order to make sure that these national barriers are overcome and let's say proprietary interfaces are less used against a new European interface.
Okay, thank you. The second question is how to make sure railway diagnostics data is available for anyone to improve their processes.
Yeah, this is a good question about the potential of the rail data space, the federated space. This is quite exciting and very, very future-looking, let's say, long-sighted, because it's the topic of creating a federated space where the data can be stored, where the data is sovereign, okay, and anyone can access. Also, thanks to the EU Data Act that is now active since last year, anyone, I was saying, can access the data, and according to the specific visibility on the data, according to the agreement for accessing the data space, can use the data for his own processes. For instance, a vehicle keeper interested in understanding the condition of his rolling stock running in Europe would have the possibility to access a European federated database for the condition, the almost real-time condition of his rolling stock. This is a great game changer project in order to allow more people to access data and benefit for that.
That's great to know because, you know, the innovations are using and many innovative solutions are using such kind of data. So they are very useful for the public. Third question is MERI is single operated vehicle only, or it is also used as a locomotive in regular trains?
Yeah, no, the MERI is just a diagnostic vehicle, so it's operated only for collecting information on the track condition, and is operating outside the typical traffic circulation in Finland. So exploiting the gaps where no train is running, they then plan the runs of the MERI in order to allow as less disruption to the traffic circulation as possible.
Okay, thank you. And the last, on the MERMEC measurement vehicles, what solution is used to provide track selective position information? Recent map-supported localization approaches, both online and offline, can support here DLR research and transfer.
Well, actually, all the systems and the measurements provided by the MERI vehicles are geolocalized thanks to GPS first for any point of the network where the GPS is available. But also when it comes to tunnels or area where the GPS is not available, we use inertial navigation. So the EMU technology in order to localize flows, defects, special point of the tracks that needs maintenance, even in the absence of the GPS coordinates, the GPS navigation system. Yeah, for the second part of the questions, my technical background is not enough, I guess, to answer in terms of DLR research, but I can offer to potentially forward the question to my colleagues and then maybe follow up later, or just drop me an email if you are interested in deepening this aspect, and I will sure link you with my colleagues.
Yes, for sure. Lutz will share after the webinar all the emails of the speakers, so the audience will be able to write directly questions. Maybe you want to have more detailed answer or anything you request. So please go ahead after the webinar. Thank you very much, Jacopo. Thank you for your
You're welcome.
presentation, and I give the floor to Lutz. Back.
Yeah. Thank you, Irina. Thank you, Jacopo. And to add, regarding to the last question, the DLR is the German Center for Technology Center for Aerospace. It's not only working for aerospace topics, but also on land transport topics. They have different institutes in Germany, and maybe that was a request for collaboration. And Mr. Roth mentioned this question in the chat, might be able to contact you directly after the webinar. As Irina said, I will send out as normally a follow-up email containing all the material, all the presentations, the contact data of both presenters, as well as a link to the recording of that webinar. For sure, it takes 2 or 3 days to have it online, but as soon as it is, I will keep you informed. So we have no other questions in the chat so far, but we have we have still about quarter an hour time. So if there are additional questions from the chat, please do not hesitate to use the chat again. In the meanwhile, I will give you some additional information. The first is a request. The request is to rate our webinar a bit or give us some proposals for future webinar topics, or maybe you are by yourself interested to present your solution at one of the next webinars. It takes you 2 minutes to fill in that questionnaire. And the good example was MERMEC. I asked them the last webinar if they are ready to present, and they said yes, and that is the result of the presentation of today. So then we will have the YouTube platform of ERCI, where you can find afterwards all the recordings of the webinars. And then I can already announce the next 2 webinars. The next one is already in 1 week. It's not 1.5 hours, but 2 hours, and it is on hydrogen in rail. Is it a myth or reality? We have some inspiring presentations already. Could be that the agenda is still in progress, that we receive one more, as we have so far. Helen Simpson from Inspired Consulting answering the question, can hydrogen be the future of rail, and what does it actually mean for passengers, operators, funders, and the supply chain? Second, Lorenzo Miralles Ferrer from Sena, how do international governments analyze the feasibility of hydrogen propulsion for potential freight routes? Third is from Guido Piccoli from Banot in Italy. What infrastructure is required to deliver a viable hydrogen fleet, and can it be easily scaled? And the last presentation so far we will receive from Antonio Gilia from ZTAF, why should conversion of equipment to hydrogen be the first option for existing rail equipment and specific railway environment of hydrogen use in shunting? So registration is open. You are still able to register. The link is in the chat. Second webinar will be then the first webinar after the summer break on 9th of September with a similar topic like today's topic. It is on AI and video analytics for smart rail maintenance. And it is already also open to register for that webinar. Please note that we changed our registration platform from September, so don't be confused, but the answers we expected from you for the registration process are nearly the same one. So then some events taking place for the next time on ERCI, and that is the major event that we are doing in collaboration with the European Lightweight Clusters Alliance called ELCA. And some information on that will be given by the supervisor of this event, and that is again Irina.
Yes, so I would like to share information that jointly the ERCI and ELCA Meta Cluster. So we are organizing the joint Hack and Match event. It will take place on 21st and 22nd of July, and but before that we have let's say two steps of preparations. The first one was call of challenges. It is already closed, and during this call we gathered the challenges from the different European companies. Since this week we have launched the call for solutions. So if you click on the link, you will see the list of that solutions. The topic of this Hack and Match, if you can go back just for is for design the future hack the waste, is the full life cycle mobility challenge. So the challenges and solutions will be linked to this main topic. So go ahead. As I told, we have gathered 5 challenges, and they're different. They are real needs from the companies that are facing during these days. So they are looking for solutions. The challenge number one, want to develop smart and sustainable injection molding solution by integrating IoT, AI-driven process optimization, and advanced tooling technologies to support the industrialization of green railway components. The second challenge would like to, let's say, identify high-value applications and industrial use cases for a new biodegradable material developed recently, and it's let's say with characteristics of a plastic, but it is done from organic waste. So the company is looking for any suggestions and ideas of this kind of applications in the mobility sector. The challenge number 3 would like to develop predictive and risk-based validation methods to accelerate the adoption of recycled materials in automotive components while ensuring consistent OEM level performance and quality. The fourth challenge is looking for eco-efficient management solutions to improve the mass transit system. So this call is from a metro operator. The last challenge would like to develop sustainable foaming technologies and alternative blowing agents to accumulate aluminium foam production, improve foam quality, and reduce environmental impact. So this is briefly what is the challenge about. More details you can find following the link that will be shared by Lutz afterwards. So welcome in case you are a tech-savvy company, in case you are a technical research center, any kind of even a large company, doesn't matter. In case you have any solution, it's a real chance for you to find a business partner that have a need, you have a solution, so it's a good match for future collaboration. The deadline of the call is 13 July, so you're welcome for applications. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Irina. And you must not wait until I send out the follow-up email. The link for the call for solutions is already in the chat. And after we have the call, the solutions idea of possible solutions, we will start the online hack-and match, which will take place on the 21st and the 22nd of July. And we will design some teams containing of challenge providers and corresponding solution providers, and tutored by some ERCI or some ELTA staff. And then they have about 2 days time in order to design some approaches for solution of the challenges. They have to fill in a Word template and to produce a 5-slide presentation as a deliverables. And then after the deadline of sending the deliverables, there will be a jury and make some evaluation, and we will have normally we have 2 winners, and the 2 winners are invited to the awarding ceremony that takes place at the InnoTrans trade fair in Berlin in September. So I guess if you have questions on that, please do not hesitate to contact us. Also at the ERC, also at the InnoTrans takes place our this year's awarding ceremony of the ERCI Innovation Awards. The process is already closed. All the clusters, all the 18 clusters, not all the 18s, but the majority of clusters made their nominations to the European contests. We are facing now with 29 applications. The jury evaluation is in progress. We are expecting the results by the end of July, and then the winners for sure will be also part of the awarding ceremony that takes place at the RailSize booth in hall 7.2B. And the InnoTrans at 23rd of September. For sure, we keep you informed on that. That is the topic, the InnoTrans. Some of our ERCI member clusters will be present with a booth or parts of joint booths. And we are collecting some events that are planned on the booths as well, with relevance on a European level. Then we after the collection, we will drive a small agenda collecting all these events, and then we will publish it as well, for sure, not on the InnoTrans website, but on the ERCI website, to get you informed what is happening in ERCI context during the InnoTrans. I already mentioned the ERCI Innovation Awards and also the ERCI Achievement Awards that will be one event on the 23rd of September. Already one event is fixed by our Austrian member cluster AC Styria on the 22nd of September, and also the 2 booth receptions from the Saxony region and from the Berlin-Brandenburg region are already dated for the 23rd of September. Further events are planned to be decided and so on, and the agenda is still in process, will evolve, and please be inspired or be excited what offers we can bring to you. So funding opportunities, only 2 small slides. The first is on Horizon Europe. It should show that the working programs of the several clusters, not only this one, but also other ones, are in operation. The working programs for the years 2026 and 2027. There is also a list available in the web on past Horizon Europe Info Days. These include also the documents And the videos of these info days, you could follow them via watching it on the web. And we collected 3 interesting core topics that might be interesting also to the railway sector. There might be some more, but these 3 are identified by us on enhanced resilience in multimodal passenger transport through digital technologies and AI. That's the topic of today. 2 projects will be funded, but the deadline for submitting proposals is already the 8th of October. Then we have identified a topic on enhancing resilience and accuracy and positioning, navigation, and timing systems. The deadline will be the 7th of October next year. And the third one is on factory processes and automation for remanufacturing. Deadline will be the 2nd February in 2027. That is a typo on the slide. I will correct it afterwards. 6 projects will be funded, and we already are in the process of designing a consortium for that topic. If you have some ideas or interest to contribute, please do not hesitate to contact us. So we could support you to participate. We could look for opportunities to participate in developing consortia. The role of ERCI itself, it could be a partner in some projects, a member cluster, or more member clusters could be partners of the project, or a member of an ERCI member cluster, that means you, could be a partner itself for those projects. Horizon Europe is one possibility. Rail would be another possibility. No open calls at the moment. ESA, also one opportunity. No open calls at the moment. Other funding opportunities. So 3 projects I'm shortly presenting where ERCI or clusters of ERCI are part of it. LEADER 2030 already finished. It tackles supply chain gaps of raw materials, and the major result is a policy brief with some main recommendations are important for the railway industry as well as for the total European industry. The need of a systemic approach of resilience in the rail value chain, the reinforcement of internal resilience inside companies, improving the availability of critical materials through circularity, and securing supply chains in Europe. You'll find more information on that in this policy brief. The project Idealist has also the topic of supply chain disruptions, but also to the topic of adopt advanced technologies for different industry sectors in order to solve these supply chain disruptions. ERCI itself is not a partner, but DTEC Fair from Italy is a part of the project. If you are interested to keep informed on the project, you might subscribe for the newsletter, the news, or you have to show at the project website for news and events. Then a quite new project called CERAS. It is on tackling human resources in order to establish a single European railway areas of skills alliance. MAFEC as a member cluster of ERCI is part of it, and ERCI itself. And these are 3 current projects we are tackling with. And I make again this slide because I receive an additional question from the chat to you, Jacopo. You mentioned rail corrugation and RCF measurements. How do you measure RCF with ultrasonic and eddy current? Do you detect squats and studs? Short answer, please.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Well, so the rail corrugation is measured with a laser scan system. It's a well-known systems already in the market and used in many vehicles delivered from MERMEC, and is quite a standardized way of measuring the rail corrugation. The RCF are measured with the so-called V-Cube solution. Is the machine vision system which acquire a very dense and high resolution imagery of the rail face, and then detecting RCF, which are small little cracks on the rail surface due to contact fatigue, degradation between wheel and rail. And so they are measured thanks with a machine vision system based on calibration of the images with the field of view. And about rail flows, so internal rail flows, so specific cracks not visible that are internal to the rails, they are measured with an ultrasonic technology. So there is an ultrasonic systems coupling and with water to the rail and inspecting the inner part of the rail. In this way, I guess that the squats and starts are specific flat spots or flattening area of the rail surface, and these are measured as well with the machine vision system equipped on the MERMEC vehicle.
All right, thank you for explanation, and that gives me to the last two slides. Again, our next two webinars next Wednesday on hydrogen in rail, and on the 9th of September on AI and video analytics for smarter rail maintenance. That is the end of the webinar today. Please do not forget to fill in our short feedback questionnaire. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you soon. Have a nice time. Maybe see you next Wednesday, and have a nice day again. Bye bye.